co-opted your local police force. They've turned them into deputies of this national effort to find terrorists. Talk a little bit about the spread of Homeland Security dollars to local police forces.
Well, so I think we'll maybe get to fusion centers in more detail later, but yeah, there's lots of federal money out there. If you say you want to run a counterterror program, you may not have terrorists, but that's no reason to turn down the money. Right. So we find fusion centers, for example, something like $250 billion in grants that went out, supposedly for counterterror. A 2-year Senate investigation found that they never actually produced a single shred of actionable, useful intelligence about terrorism. It did end up buying a lot of Range Rovers for local sheriff's departments, plasma TVs, so that they could display the Fusion Center calendar and watch cable news in San Diego.
DHS has given out, I think, $50 million in grants for local police departments to photograph license plates. To your point earlier, in a wholesale level, not going after an individual car or doing it as they drive by on patrol, but they're setting up cameras now in different locations. I know in San Diego they're doing this on a massive scale. They're just routinely photographing the license plate of every car on the freeway that goes by.
There's a lot of technology. It's license plates. It's all the CCTV cameras. You produce the UK number. We know better. There's cameras everywhere in the United States also.
That's right.
A lot of cities have them in intersections where they're automatically scooping up camera license plates. Again, that's being saved. The money's being used for other surveillance, for cell phone surveillance, for just collecting up lots of data. And
we'll get into cell phones in a minute.
But because it's data, it sloshes around. I mean, this is the fundamental problem. It doesn't matter who collects it. Once it's in the system, it goes into a fusion center, it goes into the NSA's computers, it goes into some marketing computer, and the data stays. And it's very hard to get rid of it. And now it's being used for all sorts of purposes. And we have no control over it, or really even any visibility into what data is collected.
We don't know how it's being used or who's using it. We also don't know when it's going to come back to haunt us, because it may turn out a few years later something that you did was of interest to them, and they may have been tracking you for quite some time.
You're probably taping this show.
I'm sure we are. So there are billions at stake, and it's a rapidly growing business. We know now that the surveillance business itself, just that segment of it, is now something like a $5 billion business outside of government to private corporations. I thought it might be nice to take a look at the snooper market, take a look at all the devices, some of the devices that are on sale. For instance, the Watchhound, which allows police forces to listen to cell phone conversations the same way you might if you were using, say, a radio band scanner. So you can actually tune in to the cell phone conversations. You probably didn't think that people could hear you when you're talking on your cell phone. In fact, that's widely available. These are widely in use. The Stingray. This is an interesting device. It can be mounted in